Welcome everyone to another CTC software webinar. My name is Sean Zervis, the Director of BIM Development here at CTC Software, and today we're going to kick off a brand new series on learning how to use the Nexus CMS just for daily Revit or AutoCAD users. We're going to focus this session on searching for content, going through everything from just simple searches all the way through advanced stuff. Now, as always, these webinars are recorded, so you'll be able to come back and see this later on our YouTube channel. And also, as always, for those of you joining us live, we keep our eyes on that questions window in the GoToWebinar system. So if you have a question about anything we're talking about today, we encourage you to jump in and just ask in the questions window, and we'll try to answer it in line. We also save a QA session for the end. So without further ado, let's jump in here. So anytime you're looking for some kind of content, right? Anytime you're looking for it in Windows, sometimes even in Google, or any other kind of content management system, just Windows Explorer, it can sometimes be kind of frustrating. Sometimes it feels like you got to know some kind of a secret handshake. Maybe you have to have some kind of a special skull key you found on some secret mission someplace to be able to unlock the secrets of what's going on. And that's just no fun. That's not efficient. You want to be able to learn all the things and be able to use something very simply. And so in this webinar, I'm going to try to demystify all that stuff. And I'm going to show you pretty much everything you need to know on how to search within the Nexus CMS. So you should be able to follow along if you actually have Nexus installed. Exactly what I'm doing today, you should be able to do the exact same thing as well. I'm going to start out as simply as possible. I'm going to start doing just very simple searches. Then I'm going to transition into using some filtering and even more optimization there of search results. I'm going to also demonstrate a little bit about some special searching commands, some more advanced searching that you can do if you want to further optimize the results that you're going to be getting back. And then finally, I'll show you how you can use the saved searches functionality to make these searches that you do on a regular basis even more common and just very repeatable. So I'm going to show all of that today. Now, first, we're going to start with a simple search. How does this work just from the basic searching here? So I'm going to pull the Nexus CMS to the foreground. And in fact, so it can't go anywhere, I'm going to go ahead and pin it to the foreground right here so that it stays right on top of everything. So right from the main page, the home page here, if you wanted to do a search on the center section here underneath Content Management System, I suspect this kind of interface feels rather familiar. Most of us use this on like a daily basis. I'm just going to put in some kind of a search. Maybe I'm going to search for something like Titus. This is a manufacturer of some building componentry here in the world of architecture. So searching for this comes, it finds and brings back to me results that are relevant that somehow match Titus. And I can just scroll through the list and it finds, in this case in my library, all 65 items. Or I could search for something, another architectural example here, we'll say door. Just type in door, and this comes back with stuff in my library that matches door. Maybe I want to look for something like swing single, just looking for something, and it's going to go and search for everything and bring back stuff that matches either swing or single. And because of how I have my interface set up here, when I run this search for swing single, it's sorting all of these by name alphabetically. Some of you may want to change that a little bit. I'm going to quickly change mine so that it sorts by relevance. And when I do that, now I'm probably going to get things that are probably a bit more relevant to me, like swinging doors. That's probably more what I'm looking for. And single swinging doors specifically. And other things might show up inside of here, but I'm just leveraging very simple search terms up here, typing in whatever I want. Maybe I want a hydrant. If I could spell, that would be even better. Even though I didn't spell it right, it still came back with hydrants. In this case, some AutoCAD graphics or some maybe Revit graphics, whatever. But it's coming back with items that match my search. Very simple simple searching. You just type in a search string and it brings you back some results. Now, what you may also want to do is filter this stuff down a bit more specifically. Instead of just typing in a search string, you can do more. Just recently, I was out looking for some real estate, and before that, I was looking for a new vehicle. And on those types of sites, it's very common to have filters where you can say, show me a certain amount of acreage, show me a maximum price, show me certain model year of a vehicle, right? You build a computer or search for that. All of these sites nowadays have this kind of filtering, and the CMS is no different. Right here is a little funnel, and it actually says right now 0 filters applied. So if I click on that, it's going to pop out the filters panel for me, and I'll be able to use this to further refine my searches. Now, I have a recommendation for you about this filters panel. You can let it continually disappear when you're not using it and go away, but I think you're going to use this quite a lot. So I recommend that right here at the top of the filters panel, you hit the little pin option, and that will pin it out there on screen and keep it on screen all of the time when you're on this search panel. Now, you could certainly close it if you want to and reopen it back up, but if you pin it, at least it won't continually disappear when you move your mouse away, because I think that can be a little frustrating. So pin it open there. Now, within the filters here, you have a lot more power. If I wanted to focus on, say, just the Revit front, and let's say I'm going to do swing single, okay? When I type in that search criteria, I do get some doors, but I'm also getting some drafting views, and I'm getting some cabinets. Down here, I'm getting a single family plat from Civil 3D. I'm getting single, receptacles down here. These aren't doors, and maybe really what I wanted was doors. I wanted architectural doors in this case. Now, I could put doors up here too, but it might not still give me exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to intentionally filter this down from my Revit categories collection here. Now, if you don't see this and you're in Revit, you can hit this little expander right here, the Revit filters. And by the way, for those of you in AutoCAD, there's also an AutoCAD filters right here that has AutoCAD categories specialized right there. We'll come back to this here in just a minute. But with the Revit filters, if I expand this out, I can go into Revit categories and I could say something like only give me back doors, and I can actually even filter for that in the list so I'm not scrolling through a mile-long list. And then when I reapply this, now it's going to filter anything that shows up in my searches, but only give me back Revit stuff that's doors. It might show me more than Revit stuff. It might show me some Word documents that also have swing single on it. But in this case, at least, I don't actually have anything like that, so it's only giving me back doors. So that makes it really easy now to filter down to just the 18 items, and within the doors, it's only showing me things that somehow match the word swing or single. And so you'll notice I have swing double. You're like, Sean, why in the world is it showing you a double door when you said swing single? Well, we'll get to that here in just a minute, but it's showing me anything that matches swing or the word single. And so it's going to come down here and it has a single sliding door or a single sliding telescoping door because it has the word single in the name or somewhere in the properties of that object. There's also a single upward acting door, and somehow in here the data within that particular piece of content beyond just the name of this, because this search string up here goes well beyond just the file name. In the case of Revit, it's also searching types and parameter values. In the case of AutoCAD, it might be searching things like attributes and attribute values. In the case of Word documents, it might be searching the properties of the Word document. So it's digging deeper than just the file name when you run a single search here. But the ability over here to filter things and really refine down to a particular category, or in the case of AutoCAD, a particular AutoCAD category, like list routines or blocks or alignment styles, or you name it, you can filter for that. Or you can also filter for specific file types here, file extensions. So if I was running a search and I only wanted to get a PDF back, I could force this thing to only return back to me some kind of a PDF if that's what I was looking for. And then it wouldn't return any Revit family content or AutoCAD content. It would only return back a PDF. So these filters can be quite powerful when you leverage them within your searches. okay? Now, if you find yourself doing these same kind of things over and over again, you may very well want to save these searches. And saving a search makes it so that you can repeat the exact same search in the future. There are plenty of times when I want to search for something, and maybe I want to search inside of a particular library here. Like I want to search my corporate Revit content exclusively. And within that content, maybe let's use an MEP example. Maybe I only want to return back air terminals here. And so I don't even know if I have anything that's going to match this. Let's just see. Yeah, I've got nothing right now. Let's do a different example. Let's do furniture. Okay, I'll do a furniture example here, hit apply. Okay, so this is bringing back furniture, but I had to do two things. I had to search for the library here. I had to check that box, find it in the list and check it, which sometimes can be, if this list gets really long, it might be kind of frustrating to do. And the furniture here, I had to type in fern because I didn't want to scroll through a long list and then check furniture, or I could just scroll and find it and check it. But that takes time, and then I clicked apply. Well, instead of doing that, if I know that I do this repetitively and I'm commonly going back to searching my library for furniture, well, then what I can do is right up here at the top, there's a little disk, little save floppy disk icon for those of us who are old enough to remember what a floppy disk is. There's a save search, and I can make a brand new saved search here and call this out as CTC furniture. And now if I save that, I can repeat this exact same saved search again. Now, how do you find that? Well, once you have a saved search, here at the top left, in the CMS little, right next to the CMS name, there's a little drop down there. And you can see I've got CTC-furniture, I have CTC doors, CTC walls. There's actually a bunch of them that I have here. If I was to click CTC doors, this would run a search for everything. That little asterisk means everything within my libraries, my library specifically, my corporate library. It's only giving me Revit content back, and it's only finding me doors. So this automatically drops me right there. It saves me from choosing my library and choosing only Revit content and choosing doors and putting that in there and then hitting apply. It's just it's basically one click, right? I could go get my walls. I could go get my AutoCAD templates. I could go get my Revit templates. And it's going to automatically just give me those very quickly, and I can save whatever my criteria is that I find I use repetitively. I can save quite a lot of time. And then let's go to a little bit more of an advanced level here, an advanced search. Maybe I go into my doors, my CTC doors, which looks for everything in my library that's doors, and I wanted to find anything that is a swing single door. Swinging door, single panel. So if I normally put in here swing single like I did before, I'm going to get all kinds of things that are swinging doors, or that are single doors, or that are both swinging and single doors. And you're like, yeah, but that's not really what I wanted. I wanted single swing doors, and I've got 18 doors, some of which are sliding, some of which are overhead or revolving. Like, what's up with that? Well, here's what you can do. With the advanced search, there's extra operators that you can use here. You could do something like putting swing single in quotation marks, and then it only finds one item for me. It finds me something where the file name or a property in the file exactly matches swing space single or swing underscore single. It'll actually assume underscores and hyphens and spaces are kind of all the same because you might not know it's an underscore. So it matches that exactly. I know there are other single swing doors in my library, but this, because I put an exact string match in, will only give me this back. And by the way, these types of things you can also do in search engines like Google or Yahoo, or you name it. These types of quotation mark, this is a common thing that you can do across the internet, and also in this case, here. But you can also do something else. Let's try this. Swing plus single. Now what this will do is look for anything that has the word swing in it, and the plus stands for and it has to have the word single in it. It doesn't matter where, Doesn't matter if it's single swing or swing single, or they're separated, or it's not even in the file name, but it's someplace else in the properties of the door, for example. So these ones down here, for whatever reason, this door still has a swing property within the parameter values someplace. But this is finding me now everything that matches swing and single, or single and swing. It's kind of both. So you can use this. You can also use things like hyphens. You can use or symbols, like or, double, like that. The pipe sign, it's actually just above your enter key, shift, and that little like vertical pipe sign there. You could do that. You can surround things in parentheses if you need to. So plus, single, or double, it has to have one of those two words. This also works in place of the pipe sign. There's a lot that you can do here with these advanced sort of search things, but the most common two that people will use is the plus sign or the quotation marks around an explicit string. And then this is very explicit, swing single. So this can actually help save quite a bit of time. I can actually get rid of the door categories if I wanted to here, and I could say, find me anything that is has to have, let's see, door plus swing plus single, and I can get pretty much effectively the, I guess I screwed something up there, but it's got pretty much the exact same results, even though I didn't say force it to the door category. It's, or doors maybe I should do here in this. Yeah, there we go. It's looking for doors, plural, so it's finding that in the list for the properties of these objects, right? So, because this search string up here searches the file name, type names, parameter values, properties of the doors, but it also searches the categories, and it searches versions, and it searches, I forget, there's something else that it searches. Oh, tags. It searches tags as well. So if there's a tag applied to something, it will search that. So this is a very easy way for you to leverage the search up here, the library filtration, and any other properties for that matter, and saving your searches so things that you do repeatedly can be very easily repeated. I can go to furniture, and then I can search for just chair, and it will come back with anything that matches chair or whatever, but it's going to limit this down to just the furniture category. Or maybe I want, you know, bench, and maybe there are certain things that have the word bench in it, like something from the civil space. There's a term called benching that's there, where for grading and stuff. But maybe here I'm filtering this down to just the furniture category, so it's only giving me back Revit furniture stuff in this case. But yeah, you can leverage this to find whatever you need. Most of the time, you're going to be spending your time up here in the search area. All right, so for those of you who have stuck around this far, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you. We always appreciate when you hang out with us and you know, listen to our webinars live. For those of you watching this on the YouTubes, we hope this earns a subscription or a like or whatever if this is beneficial to you.